Good morning.
Good morning.
We are on day number...
Oh my gosh, I don't even know.
I don't even know. It'll say at the bottom of the screen. We are leaving Coimbra today and heading 25 kilometers to Cernadello.
Beautiful city. It's hot one today. I'm dripping in sweat. And I think it's going to be in the mid 80s today, which of course in the summertime back home, that's not as bad as it can get, but it still is warm.
I will say that the heat here, at least, it's not super humid.
Yeah,
so
that's nice.
85 doesn't feel quite as bad as it could feel if
Right.
it were, Ohio's 100% humidity right now.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
sorry, Ohio. We're in a small little village. We've ridden about 12 kilometers. We're
tell
not
us
that
why,
far
Brian.
from Coimbra.
Tell us why we've ridden so much.
We ended up with about a 4-kilometer detour in Coimbra because there are two routes through Coimbra, one that kind of bypasses the city and the one that goes through the city, depending on if you're planning on staying in Coimbra or not. And both routes were closed because of construction, and there was no signage for detours.
No.
And we're using a guidebook and we're using an app, and neither one mentioned that there were detours on either route.
Yeah.
So fortunately, we happened to run into,
on
our second time through,
At a McDonald's.
not at a McDonald's,
Well,
in front of a McDonald's.
yeah, but
We weren't
still.
in the McDonald's, although it did sound really good.
It did sound really
Too
good.
early for French fries though. But we ran into two American pilgrims, which are actually the first Americans that we have run into in Lisbon in a week and a half.
On our whole Camino Portugues, yeah.
So that was kind of nice to run
And
into some
from
pilgrims.
Kansas City. So that was exciting.
But they had actually spoken to one of the construction workers who spoke English, who gave them directions, and we kind of worked it out and we found our way through with them. And you'll probably get to see them a little bit later because they're staying in the same place that we are tonight.
Yeah, so it's exciting.
So we'll see them.
It's a beautiful day on the Camino. It really is.
And we have a statue
now,
of
yeah.
St. James here behind us because we're in front of the Church of St. James in this small village. There it is, little church.
And back here behind us, you can see way out in the distance, you can see the city of Coimbra.
A little
where
bit
we
of
just left.
Coimbra.
A little bit, but
Way
still.
back there.
It's been a nice ride so far.
Once we got out of Coimbra, the waymarks were very easy to follow.
Sorry, it got very loud.
We're in a traffic circle right now.
And a tractor is coming through the traffic circle. Buen dia!
So once we got out of Coimbra, the markers were very easy to follow because the Fatima markers have actually been a blue dotted line on the side of the road
Think about a dotted line, like your white dotted line.
down the
this
center
is
of a
terrible.
highway.
This is
But
terrible, sorry.
that's what we got really for Fatima. So seeing that blue line, we were just kind of following it going the wrong way. But there's also been a lot of yellow arrows and big markers
nice.
like in Galicia. Big concrete markers with Camino arrows on them today.
been really
So
nice.
it's been easy once we got out of Coimbra. But Coimbra was challenging. Any big city on the Camino
Yeah.
is always the hardest to navigate because there's so many things that can get in the way and cover up markers, whether it be posters
Yeah.
or traffic signs or just there's so many other things to look at that you don't see them.
Well, and it's really hard when you're walking, like he said, for all of those reasons. But on a bike, when everything's going so much faster, it's just virtually impossible. So sometimes you just have to get off your bike and look and walk and yeah.
Which is what we did. So while we're stopped in this little village, since we're off the bikes, we're gonna head over to a little cafe that's right over here. We'll
Yeah.
show you it right there,
there.
a little cafe.
With the tractor.
So we're gonna go over there and
love
get
it
something
so
cold
much.
to drink and then get back on our way.
Okay.
Adios. Hello.
Hello.
So we are walking up to our hotel. We've already dropped our bikes off. The rooms weren't open yet. So we went and wandered around for a little bit. This is tonight's hotel.
It was €50.
50 euro for a room.
And it has a pool.
It's quite beautiful from the outside. It's called Quinta dos Tres Pineros, I believe.
What are we having for dinner tonight, Brian?
We're having suckling pig for dinner tonight because Milada, where we are, is the Portuguese capital of suckling pig.
We passed by like
Oh,
4 restaurants.
More than that. Oh, and our hotel has a discotheque. So, we're going to be dancing the night away tonight, baby.
He's lying.
unfortunately, to get to the hotel, we had to climb this big hill and all those stairs. So we'll show you the room in a minute. There we go. Ready?
Good morning.
Gotta kiss first.
Good morning.
Good morning. It is day 10 of walking, or possibly day 11. We're debating this still. And we are in, it's 10. We are in the village just north of Milada, which is called I don't know, I'll put it in the bottom. And we are walking today to the village of Agueda. Actually, we're not walking, we're biking, of course. Biking to the village of Agueda.
And we're taking this video before we get started because it's going to be mostly on the highway today. One of our last we've got 3 days left of biking, and we're really anxious to get back on the Camino and see what that's like, but the highway is the better bet. So
Yeah, we're on the N1 today. The Camino, according to the book, today is about 24 kilometers, so it's a short day. For us, sticking strictly to the road, it's going to be about 21 kilometers. Our challenge today is that last night a heat advisory was issued for Milada, and it's going to be 92 degrees by noon.
Well, yesterday we were talking about in the video about how great it was. It was like 84 degrees, and sorry about our friends in Ohio. And then it's like Ohio said, hey, let me slap you right back, and here's some heat today. So it's gonna be full on sun today. So
yeah, not a cloud in the sky, 92 degrees. I think the humidity is still relatively low, so at least there's that.
Yeah.
And here in Milada, it's supposed to be like this for the next 3 days. I think actually the high tomorrow is like 96.
Yeah.
A little further north, heading towards Porto, though, where we're going to be going, their temperatures are actually still pretty reasonable.
They're in the mid 70s right now, which is really exciting because obviously that's where we're headed. So being on the ocean, I'm sure helps.
By the way, we mentioned yesterday the restaurant and the hotel we were at. The place is absolutely beautiful and stunning. I would highly recommend this hotel.
The beds are not the best.
The beds are not the best, but it is.
There's a fly.
The beds are not the best, but it's a beautiful place. We had
nice
a fantastic dinner last night. If you're coming for the suckling pig, in the hotel restaurant, they only serve that on weekends.
But Pedro's, which is across the street, they serve suckling pig every day of the week.
And the restaurant did highly recommend it.
Yeah.
The woman in the restaurant recommended Pedro's if we wanted to go to, if we wanted the suckling pig.
Yeah.
We ended up staying here just because the people we were with for dinner.
They didn't seem to care, so we didn't really.
And they had walked all day.
Yeah. 3 of the 4 people didn't care. Brian will get it at some point.
I'll try to find it today. But I did instead get another specialty of the area, which was a stewed roasted lamb, which was really good.
Yeah.
And Michelle had a duck that was like almost like a paella.
It was it was kind of like a fried rice almost, because they cooked it all in one pan. So I don't know. It was all really good. It was all good.
So the food was very good. So we're gonna hit the road before it gets too hot. We'll see you in a bit. So we have arrived at Hostel XPT in Agueda, and Agueda is known for its public artwork, and the street we are on, Vasco da Gama, is one of those streets that is full of art. So you can see here, we have the umbrellas over the street, creating a little shade. The next block over has them also, and it's a pedestrian-only road. But even as we're walking, there's Michelle checking out some art. So we're gonna have some fun exploring the city. By the way, our ride took us about an hour and a half. It was on heavy traffic on the N1, and we beat the heat. It's about 10:15 right now.
It's our last short day.
Our last short day of riding.
2 long ones, and then we'll be in Portugal.
But we have some time here to explore the city before we can check into our hotel. My favorite part of this video is the child learning to play the saxophone.
For parents.
One of the tricks that we have learned in some towns that are built on a hill is that there are public elevators to help you get from one part of town to the other without having to climb the hill. So here we are in Agueda, and we were up at just a little wine bar to get a glass of wine before dinner up here. And we need to get back down to the riverside, which is where our hotel is and the restaurant that we're planning to go to tonight.
Please tell me why we're taking an elevator down instead of taking the elevator up.
Because we didn't know there was an elevator until just now.
Lessons learned.
So now we know that there's an elevator. So rather than having to climb back down this hill,
Oh wow, look at that statue.
we're just going to take the elevator. And by the way, this elevator is made to look kind of like the Vasco da Gama Tower. So here we go.
That mountain range reminds me of Pamplona.
Going down, first floor, women's lingerie.
No, we're going to -1. Uh-oh. Who knows what happens in the basement?